Our harsh winter weather pattern continues across central and eastern Kentucky. Snow chances and Arctic cold coming up.
1 year after a brawl, a Richmond business is being forced to close.
And Governor Bevin celebrates signing new pro-life legislation.
This is WKYT News at 5:30.
This cold weather does not look like it's going anywhere anytime soon.
And this weekend is expected to only be colder. WKYT's chief meteorologist Chris Bailey joins us now with an early check of that forecast. Chris?
Yeah, guys, going to get a lot colder, as you mentioned. I think this is likely to become the coldest shot of air we've had so far this year in terms of the overall wind chills coming up tomorrow night and into Saturday. Could go solidly below zero at times. First things first, a little swath of light snow that we are tracking toward parts of the area coming up late tonight and early tomorrow morning. It is not very impressive on radar. It's not going to be very impressive once it arrives, but the timing on it could cause at least some slick spots to develop on area roads across sections of southern Kentucky. Defender Radar Network, nothing for now, but tomorrow morning especially could be lining up with a swath of some light snow. For that reason, winter weather advisory out for the southern half of the area. And as you can see, that includes areas from the Pikeville, Prestonsburg section of southeastern Kentucky through Hazard, London, Corbin, Somerset to Bowling Green, and points south from there. Snowfall with this, boy, it's not a lot coming up over the next couple of days. Pesky could lead to a slick spot here or there, but it is all about the cold and the wind chills in terms of the main overall winter weather threat index. Both of those values will be into the high category as we go, especially into tomorrow night and Saturday. And when I come back, we'll talk about those wind chills that may approach the dangerously cold levels. And yes, I'm tracking another storm system due in town by Valentine's Day and Monday. That may be the biggie of the weekend in just a few.
Chris, thank you. A little more than a year has passed since a fight involving students and football players from EKU and UK broke out at Jersey's bar in Richmond.
And now the ABC, the Alcoholic Beverage Control Board, has closed down that bar. Garrett Weimer has more in our top story at 5:30.
No one involved in the brawl here at Jersey's that night was indicted. But for the bar itself, the consequences are huge, more than a year after it happened.
911, where's your emergency? Hi, my friend got jumped at the bar.
Surveillance video captured the fight involving students and football players from EKU and UK. That was in January 2015. Just yesterday, Jersey's liquor licenses were revoked. Documents WKYT obtained from the State Alcoholic Beverage Control Board show several violations stemming from the night of that fight. In a settlement with the ABC, the bar's owner admitted to those violations, including the premises being disorderly, allowing minors inside the bar, and selling alcohol to minors and people already intoxicated.
What happened? What happened? My friend was at Jersey. He got jumped by a group of guys.
One person went to the hospital after that fight, but a Madison County grand jury in April cleared everyone involved. As for the bar where it happened, the ABC's final order shows Jersey's licenses were revoked as of 6 o'clock yesterday evening. This was not the first time Jersey's has gotten in trouble with the ABC. Records show several previous violations, including selling alcohol to underage customers. Their largest penalty before this, paying a $20,000 fine. In Richmond, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
A hearing was scheduled for yesterday, but the owner agreed to a settlement the day before, admitting to the violations and giving up his licenses.
A high-speed chase in Metcalfe County led to a sheriff's deputy crashing into a truck with a mobile meth lab inside. Our county-by-county coverage at 5:30 begins in Metcalfe County. Joey Searcy led police on a chase through Edmonton just after 4 Tuesday afternoon. A Metcalfe County sheriff's deputy tried to join the chase, but Searcy's pickup slammed into his cruiser. The car was totaled, but the officer was okay. Searcy later crashed near the Justice Center. Police say the meth lab in his truck wasn't active, but Searcy is facing meth charges along with other charges, including assault of a police officer. And in Carter County, people living in Olive Hill are mourning the death of a firefighter last night. The Kentucky State Fire Commission today confirmed that 48-year-old Lieutenant David Conley died from an apparent heart attack while working at the Olive Hill station. Rescue crews worked to save Conley at the scene before he was transported to St. Clair Regional Medical Center, where he died. Lieutenant Conley is survived by his wife and 4 children.
Police are looking for 2 people accused of a holdup of a Lexington business. It happened just after 10 this morning at Bluegrass Auto Parts on East 7th Street. Police say that 2 armed men threatened employees with guns before getting away with some cash. Investigators say the 2 robbers were wearing masks and dark clothing. Anyone with information is asked to contact Lexington Police. Just 1 week after suspending his bid for president, Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky announced today he is heading back on the campaign trail for his Senate race. Starting on Tuesday, Senator Paul will spend the week appearing at a series of town hall events in nearly 24 cities across the state. Last month, Lexington Mayor Jim Gray filed paperwork to run against Senator Paul in November. Women in Kentucky will now be required to meet face-to-face with a doctor before having an abortion. Senate Bill 4, or the Informed Consent Bill, was signed into law earlier this month. Today, the governor had a ceremonial signing at the State House, surrounded by activists in support of the law. And the conversation quickly turned to other pro-life bills currently in the legislature.
Individuals who are of like voice, who are of like mindset, do not just give lip service, but continue to fight the fight, press the battle, and make sure that pro-life bills are heard both in the House and the Senate and delivered to the governor's desk.
Today, Kentucky lawmakers advanced a bill that would require women to undergo ultrasounds before an abortion.
While tearing down one of its residence halls, workers at EKU found quite a surprise, a time capsule. Now students and faculty want to know what's in it. Hillary Thornton shows us what's inside a 55-year-old box and a connection to former U.S. presidents.
From this angle, it looks like Martin Hall suffered a strong blow from a tornado. But it is the force of these machines below ripping apart this 55-year-old dorm to make room for a new one.
You know, I think you can hold on to things, and I think that sometimes that kind of stands in the way of progress.
During the demolition, workers found the cornerstone and inside discovered a time capsule dating back to 1961.
Kind of anxious to see what's in there.
Normally, the Student Activities building would not be this crowded on a Thursday afternoon, but students and faculty alike are overwhelmed with curiosity. What did the 1960s leave behind?
But we're certainly excited to find out what's in this box. So I'm going to invite Katie to come forward and we'll get started.
Inside, several copies of the campus newspaper along with pictures of the dorm's namesake, University President Robert Martin. Then there are these priceless pictures of former U.S. President Lyndon B. Johnson visiting EKU.
You know, short of finding a big wad of cash, which we were all hoping for, the papers, as I said, some of the headlines are still the same. Some of the issues are still the same.
This headline in 1961 would be minuscule by today's standards. Eastern awards 2,000 degrees annually.
I think it shows just how important this school is to a lot of people. President Martin put a lot of thought into that, and now President Benson is going to do the same thing with revitalizing campus.
Students looking back to how things were while keeping a window open to the future. In Richmond, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Always cool to see those. The new Martin Hall is expected to be completed in 18 months. The same time capsule will be in the foundation with some new items for the next generation to find.
Columbia Gas heats many homes across the state. They are required to inspect residential meters and service lines for corrosion and leakage every 3 years. Linda has our good question tonight. My question is regarding the safety inspection required postcard from Columbia Gas. On the card, it states, this inspection must be completed to continue your service. For an answer, I contacted Lisa Smith with Columbia Gas. She says that when the meter is outside in a place they can reach, Columbia Gas takes care of the inspection with no involvement of the customer. But if the meter's inside, they have to ask the customer to call and schedule an appointment for an inspection so they can get inside. And Smith says this applies to very few of their customers. But if a customer has a question or some concerns, they can call customer service at this number, 1-800-432-9345. To submit a good question, send an email to goodquestion@wkyt.com.
Still ahead on WKYT News at 5:30, we go live to the Kentucky Sport, Boat, and Recreation Show.
I'm Bill Bryant. Two Kentucky governors go at it publicly over the issue of health care. And the talk is tart in South Carolina ahead of the next presidential primary. The bottom line is ahead.
Stay connected to the news that matters to you. Follow WKYT on Twitter.
This President's Day, it's all about choices at the Burke Furniture President's Day sale. Get the special order bedroom you want in 21 days with Von Bassett Furniture.
That's incredible!
It's all at the Burke Furniture President's Day sale, going on now.
When it comes to your heart, there's one team that's leading the way to better care in the area: Baptist Health. Our team exceeds national standards for heart attack care and has been recognized with top quality ratings for cardiac surgery. From clinical research trials to advanced imaging and surgical options, our heart specialists provide nationally recognized comprehensive care right here at Baptist Health.
If you step into my classroom and you're looking for learning, you're going to see it in a variety of ways.
You can feel the energy that's in the classroom. Look at the students. They're engaged, they're excited, they're motivated. You can see that.
They know their teacher cares about them, their teacher knows them, and their teacher is willing to do everything it takes to make sure that they are able to succeed.
All students are taking part, and all students will have an understanding of what's going on.
Because that's what learning looks like.
Kentucky Lottery's Keno, the exciting way to have fun every 5 minutes.
Fueling imagination.
Funding education.
We hid cameras in 2 different cars, the Chevy Equinox with built-in 4G LTE Wi-Fi and the Ford Escape without.
Chocolate chip, chocolate chip.
Keep your legs down. Tina, put your leg down, please.
Chevrolet is the first and only car company to bring built-in 4G LTE Wi-Fi to cars, trucks, and crossovers.
Current qualified GM lessees can get this Chevy Equinox for around $199 a month. See your Kentucky Select Chevy dealers.
Hey guys, this February, give her the gift she's really gonna love. Endless prime rib, baby!
Premium weekends at Golden Corral are here. Live it up with prime rib, shrimp, salmon, and more. Just $13.99. Only at Golden Corral.
This President's Day, it's all about choices at the Burke Furniture President's Day sale. Get the special order bedroom you want in 21 days with Von Bassett Furniture.
That's incredible!
It's all at the Burke Furniture President's Day sale, going on now.
Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
It's a tale of two governors. Today, former Governor Steve Beshear announced plans to fight against his successor's plan to dismantle Connect.
Bill Bryant has more in today's Bottom Line.
Good evening. As the heat turns up before the South Carolina primary, Democrats will debate tonight on PBS. The Republicans debate Saturday night on CBS. You'll see that one here on WKYT. The tough talk continues. Jeb Bush has now indicated that he thinks fellow Republican candidate Donald Trump would be worse than President Obama in his view. Politico reports Bush said that if Trump wins, quote, "we will be worse off than we are now, and we are pretty bad off right now." Meanwhile, Trump has pulled some attack ads that he had been running against Ted Cruz in South Carolina. In their place, Trump is running a positive ad where people of different backgrounds and ethnicities express their support for Trump. Kentucky has the unusual spectacle of dueling governors right now as the new governor, Republican Matt Bevin, is moving ahead with plans to change health care, and his predecessor, Democrat Steve Beshear, is now leading a grassroots effort to fight the changes. Beshear made more people eligible for Medicaid and started the state health exchange known as Connect. Today, he announced a grassroots effort to preserve health care as he designed it. He says it is working and more people have access to care. But Governor Bevin says the state can't afford it and estimates close to 30% of Kentuckians are on Medicaid. He wants to design a Kentucky-specific plan. The Foundation for a Healthy Kentucky urging public officials to do what they can to discourage smoking. The group pointed out today that Kentucky has the second highest smoking smoking rate in the country, the highest rate of births to mothers who smoked during pregnancy, and the highest lung cancer rate in America. The foundation is pushing for a statewide indoor smoking ban in public places and a law raising the legal age to purchase tobacco to 21. Attorney General Andy Beshear will be with us on Kentucky Newsmakers this weekend. We'll also talk with the Kentucky League of Cities about their wish list for communities across the Commonwealth. Bill Bryant, WKYT.
If you are looking for a chance to forget about this winter weather, you might want to head to Rupp Arena tonight.
And that's because the Kentucky Sport, Boat, and Recreation Show's well underway today. WKYT's Jim Caldwell is live this afternoon, or tonight rather, to show us all the fun you can have this weekend. Hey, Jim.
And it's going to be fantastic weather inside here. Now, outside, it's a little bit on the nasty side, of course, with all the cold and, of course, the snow chances coming our way, especially later on toward the end of the weekend. But we don't want to think about that. What we want to think about is springtime. Most of us have gotten a little taste of cabin fever. We've been stuck in the house for a little while here, and you want to get out. Well, here's the place to come, because not only are you going to find boats and recreational vehicles and motorcycles and some modified, tripped out modified golf carts are even here. You're going to find all of that, but you've got some activities that keep you nice and warm once you get to the inside here. We've got a KYT booth that you can go check out as well. You can take your pictures on our set that we take from location to location. You can zip line, you can climb the wall. I think I've nailed about every single thing you can do here with a few other things peppered in. There's just a lot to come and check out. And you walk in some of these RVs and you're like, man, I want to live in this permanently. Some of these are just fantastic. Same thing with some of the boats that we've been checking out here today. But one common thing that we have ran into throughout most of the day today has been, what is the weather going to be like? Is it going to be a nasty little run here as we go into the weekend? Are we ever going to see the sun again? Yes. And getting here and getting these positive vibes from what we normally see in spring and summer certainly helps kind of tip in that direction for all of us. But of course, Chris Bailey has just this nasty forecast he's going to tell you about here in a few minutes, and it's just nasty. But come here and it's going to make you feel a whole lot better. Live at Heritage Hall, Rupp Arena, I'm meteorologist Jim Caldwell.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Hey, we're playing the really good cop, bad cop and all this sounds like. Yeah, we do have some nasty stuff coming our way over the next several days. At least we had today, though. Good weather out there across the entire area. A little look outside, show you how that day is wrapping up. 29 Lexington, Frankfort, Mountain Parkway corridor. Smidge warmer around the London area, and a thermometer that runs a little warmer than everybody else. Sure good to see the sun today. Winter weather advisory late tonight, early tomorrow for all the counties that are shaded in blue. That is across basically the southern half of Kentucky. That's a light snowfall that is coming your way later tonight and tomorrow morning. Not a big deal. The timing on that could get in right around the morning commute, so maybe more of a nuisance light snow that can impact your trip into work and or school, maybe on the school part for some of us. We see the snow bands that are coming out of parts of Missouri and Iowa as of now. That'll turn the corner and really impact the areas that I have painted in the lighter blue here. Everybody else, you know what, it's not a whole lot. Some of us won't see anything until tomorrow night when we get gusty northwesterly winds to usher in a snow shower, a squall, or some flurries. That can pile up a little more. Eastern Kentucky, by piling up, I'm saying maybe an inch or two out of that. Very cold pattern coming up for the weekend, though. Arctic cold across Kentucky, bitterly cold stuff across the Great Lakes and sections of the Northeast where lows may be 20 to 25 or 30 below zero. Harsh winter weather, though, continues. Light snow moves back in tomorrow, some light accumulations into tomorrow night. Then the bitterly cold temperatures settle into town. Friday night, Saturday, some leftover snow showers, highlighting the potential for a developing winter storm to impact our region from late Sunday into Monday and Tuesday. Could be some waves of snow and or a mix of everything coming our way, depending on where you are and depending on exactly where you have the low making a track across the Tennessee Valley. Hour by hour forecast. We go through tomorrow into tomorrow night. That little batch of snow working its way through the area, northwesterly winds with some snow showers and flurries around. Very cold day on Saturday. We're into the teens for highs. Wind chills will make it feel even colder than that. Tomorrow night, or I should say Saturday night into Sunday morning especially, may briefly drop into the single digits, then recover as clouds increase. Those clouds are increasing ahead of some Valentine's Day snow.
See the white on the map, see the little burst of blue? That could be a little heavier burst of some snow coming in ahead of our main storm system that won't arrive until we go into the day on Monday as that system takes a track across the Tennessee Valley. Where does it go? How much precipitation does it throw into Kentucky? What are our temperatures at that time? I'm favoring a colder scenario because Arctic air is in place when that bad boy makes its way across the Tennessee Valley. That means the winter storm threat will kick into high gear late Sunday and especially Monday and early Tuesday. Between now and then, it is cold. Wind chills tomorrow night, 5 to 10 below.
And those single digits you have are without the wind on your
right.
forecast.
Yeah,
So
the wind chills in some areas, again, could push 10 below zero Wednesday morning, northern Kentucky especially.
All right, thanks, Chris.
All right, let's head back now to Heritage Hall and Rob for some sports.
Well, as you know, the Wildcats have a new offensive coordinator, Eddie Gran, and in the season opener, he's going to be up against the coordinator that Mark Stoops fired. And Jamal Murray has been piling up the points, but those flip shots, well, they just won't go away. Stay with us. Sports is
You saw the Big Bang Wedding, the breakup, the hookup.
Oh, I enjoyed that more than I thought I would. Me too.
Now it's the biggest Big Bang secret ever.
Oh, my.
A new Big Bang CBS Tonight. Sherlock Holmes is not afraid of taking risks.
We want to pull off a heist. We want to steal something from a Satanist. Interested? When do we start?
But tonight,
Would you like to kiss me?
will he take a chance on romance?
You like her.
So? New Elementary, CBS Tonight.
The treasure folks are loving is the ocean's greatest haul. McDonald's Filet-O-Fish, the most golden of them all.
Right now, get 2 flaky Filet-O-Fish sandwiches for just $5.
If you've been injured in an accident, your injuries can last a long time, even a lifetime. Visit forthepeople.com. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
It's bold. It's exciting. It's groundbreaking. Toyota is the President's Weekend event. Now through Tuesday, get $500 President's Weekend bonus cash on any new 2016 RAV4. Use it to get 0% plus $500. We'll use it to lease this RAV4 for just $199 a month. Don't miss the President's Weekend event. Now through Tuesday only. Toyota. Let's go places.
We had real people make their own pizzas. They chose the ingredients they wanted.
I'd like the fresh dough.
What's PHA? I'm gonna go with the one that doesn't have the acronyms.
Get the one without fillers. What are fillers?
You guys just made your pizza the way I make my pizza. No ingredients that you can't pronounce, no artificial flavors. And we're proud to announce our new quality guarantee. Love your pizza or get another one absolutely free.
Get any large pizza with up to 5 toppings for just $9.99. Online only.
At papajohns.com.
Dear Jack, you know that I'm crazy for you, but I dare you to surprise me and melt my heart. Love, Sarah.
Write your love story with great ideas from Kroger. From your first love to the love that lasts forever, you'll find a way to melt their hearts. Give love with a little help from Kroger.
USDA Choice boneless shoulder roast is $3.49 a pound, and asparagus is $1.99 a pound at Kroger.
Now that we've added adjustable base, I can sit up without propping pillows up or having to just everything move around.
You don't have to do anything. It does everything for you.
You can read a book or watch your movies, get your taxes done, whatever. It's kind of perfect.
Change your sleep. Change your life. Change to Tempur-Pedic. Sleep Outfitters offers 0% financing on every Tempur-Pedic every day at every location. Find your nearest location at sleepoutfitters.com.
These gray skies, we could shake them up. We could
Wake up with a hot McCafe coffee starting at only $1.
I'm WKYT's Rebecca Smith, and I stand for Kentucky.
And welcome back, everybody. Kentucky Sport Boat and Recreation Show here in Heritage Hall Rupp Arena. It is just getting started today and going on through Sunday. Former UK offensive coordinator Shannon Dawson is the new offensive coordinator at Southern Mississippi. Dawson earlier today confirming to Fox Sports that he will be calling the plays when the Golden Eagles come into Commonwealth Stadium to open the season against Kentucky the first Saturday in September. Dawson will join the new staff of Jay Hobson down at Southern Miss. So that will make it an interesting season opener. Now the two of the first place teams in the SEC go at it on Saturday down in Columbia, Kentucky and South Carolina. Jamal Murray has been on an absolute tear. He scored 80 points in the last 3 games. He's the only freshman in UK history to have 2 30-point games in a season. But when he drives, John Calipari has been on him about shot selection. Cal wants him to stop the flip shots.
He's getting better. He had the one baseline flip. He could not help himself. It's like crack cocaine. I got to do this. And he flipped it under. Had no chance of making it.
I didn't do any flip shots today.
He claimed you.
He claimed you did one.
Did it go in? That's just one of my things. It's a habit I do. I'm trying to break out of a habit. And just trying to play winning basketball. Sometimes if I'm going to do it, I got to make it. And I'm not really thinking about just, going up this way, going up that way. It's just instinct. And I've been doing that for a long time, so just breaking out of habit.
It is Kentucky at South Carolina Saturday. Big game. Tip is set for noon on ESPN. Tonight in Moorhead, the Eagles play EKU in their second matchup of the regular season. The two old rivals going at it again. The Colonels dropped the first game between the two this year at McBrayer Arena. Dan McHale's team is hot, winning back-to-back games against the league's 2 best teams.
It's big, because it's the next game on our schedule, and we're only separated by them by one game in the standings. So it's a revenge game, per se, but it comes down to us climbing the ladder in the OVC. So that's why I'm excited. The guys are hungry. That loss to them in our home building is still fresh in their minds.
Moorhead enters tonight's game 1 game over 500. The Eagles are coming off 2 straight losses. Coach Sean Woods thinks his team can make a late season run.
My team comes to play, I think we're just as good or better than anybody. We just got to continue to have consistency when it comes to that. If my team comes to play and they play the right way and they play the way they're supposed to, I feel pretty good. We just got to establish a consistency from here on out.
And a reminder that you can catch up on all the latest in boats, RVs, and outdoor gear. Our special half-hour program coming up at 6:30. Dave Baker will host that. It is on the CW Lexington. And we've got much more ahead. I'll be back in the next half hour. Stay with us on WKYT.